One afternoon on Friday after school, Spike was in his room still typing up his report assignment given to him by Principal Celestia. And that's how I came to appreciate and adore Octavia Melody's talent and love for the classical musical arts. Spike finished up what he was writing for the day and saved the file and stored it away for later. He got up off his desk's chair and stretched. "Oh boy, I need a break," he said before grabbing a drink out of his fridge and drank it. He looked at his cell phone and saw he had a message from Pinkie Pie. "Spike, we're heading over to the gymnasium to decorate it for the end of the semester dance. If you're done writing for the day, we could use your help." Spike smiled and texted back, "Be right over." After sending his text, he left his room and headed out to the gymnasium. When Spike arrived, he went inside the gym to see the Rainbooms and Trixie were busy setting things up. Sunset, Applejack and Pinkie were painting some banners, Trixie and Rainbow were setting up tables, Vinyl was setting up her turntable, Rarity and Fluttershy were decorating the ceiling with loads of streamers and balloons, and Twilight was checking to make sure everything was in order. Spike made himself known. "Hey girls, anything I can help with?" "Spike, you made it just in time," Twilight smiled. "And of course you can help," Pinkie added. "Shot you need me to do? Go into the storage room there and pull out some more tables, would ya?" Applejack asked. "On it," Spike answered, as he went to the storage room and pulled out 3 tables. "Is it just us working?" Vinyl answered. "Don't worry, Octi and the rest of the students will be by soon to help out." And sure enough, Vinyl was right. The rest of the student body arrived and started helping out in decorating the gymnasium and sharing some laughs. After a few hours of decorating, the whole gymnasium was decorated for the dance in a few days. The theme was known as Under the Sea, and a majority of the balloons and streamers were colored ocean blue and white, while other decorations were paper like fish, lobsters, crabs, starfish and turtles hanging from the ceiling. Taped to the walls were ocean blue colored tissue paper to give off that under the sea feeling. Everyone looked around seeing what a great job they did. "This is so good." Pinkie jumped up in excitement. "I love the theme, Pinkie Pie, Under the Sea," Spike said. "It's got that magical feeling to it," Trixie admitted. They suddenly heard clapping, and standing in the entrance of the gymnasium was Principal Celestia and Vice Principal Luna. Celestia began. "Everything looks wonderful, students. This end of the year dance is sure to be the best in a long time." Spike was curious about a matter and left the Rainbooms to talk to the adult, Principal Celestia. "Yes, Spike," she asked. "Question, how do dances work here in schools that are for all girls? I mean in terms of needing or bringing dates?" The two sisters were curious about his question, but Luna answered. "Normally the girls beforehand would either bring boys from the nearest high schools or friends in town. Otherwise they come in groups as friends." "I see. Well, then permit me to make a request this time around." "A request?" Celestia asked. "Yes, I would like to be the date to all the girls in attendance." The two were surprised at his request. "Spike, whatever would you want that?" Celestia inquired. "Well, I am the first male student here, and I figured the girls would line up begging me to be their date, where they didn't have to go searching. So how about I take all these ladies as my dates? Think of it as another part of the test to see if the school can become co-ed." He sweet-talked the principals. The two principals pondered on Spike's request and his idea, until Celestia spoke up. "Very well, but I will hold you responsible for the girls and their actions. Make sure you treat them all equally, and I don't want to see any favoritism." "You have my word," Spike promised, before turning to the student body. "Hear that, girls? I'm not just one girl's date for the dance, I'm all your dates." The girls burst into cheers while the Rainbooms and Trixie were taken aback. "All of our dates?" Fluttershy asked. "Whoa, Nelly," Applejack gasped. "Well, I for one would be more than generous to share him for the dance." Rarity began before mumbling to herself. "Just this once. I'll say Spike has his work cut out for him," Vinyl said. "That's for sure," Sunset agreed. "Well, he's got guts to want to take all of us," Rainbow admitted. "No kidding," Twilight nodded, as the Rainbooms and Trixie looked at Spike wishing they could have gone with him themselves. But he was a step ahead of them. And soon the girls were leaving the gymnasium to head back to the dorms. Spike was planning to walk back until Twilight called out to him. "Spike." Spike looked back, seeing Twilight, Trixie and the rest of the Rainbooms. "What up, girls?" "Spike, we want to make sure you're doing the right thing by being all of our dates to the dance." Twilight began. "I admit it's a very risky action, but hey, all you girls deserve a date and not have to go looking for one when there's a guy right here. Can you even juggle that many dates?" Sunset asked. "I'm willing to try, you brave boy," Pinkie said, as she pat his shoulder. "Why, thank you." "Well, Spike, if you think ya can handle it, we'll hold ya to it," Applejack said. Thanks, girls, and I promise you all this, you will have a wonderful time. He headed off back to the dorms, leaving each of the girls to think simultaneously. I do too, Spike. At the dorms inside Spike's room, Spike was on the phone with Discord to tell him the news. You're taking all the girls in your class to their school dance. You bet I am, sucker fool, Spike chuckled. How are you going to manage that? Oh, I'll manage. You have to give me details at the end of it. I don't care how minimal they may be, Discord demanded. Relax, my friend. I'll be sure to have some stories to tell you. You better. All the good stuff happens to you, but the only thing even remotely funny that happens at my school is someone puking from having the week-old meatloaf. I didn't need to hear that, Spike replied in repulse. Sorry, well, I'll catch you later. I got a paper to continue typing. See you soon, my brother. Spike ended his call and went back to his computer to type some more on his report, knowing he still had some time to add more to his report before he had to turn in it. In Spike's dorm room, he was relaxing on his bed until he heard a knock at his door. Curiously, he went to his door and opened it, seeing no one was there. He looked down and saw a box with a letter on top. What's this? He picked it up and brought it inside. He put the box on his bed and opened up the letter to read it. Upon opening the letter, he got a whiff of a beautiful perfume fragrance coming from the letter. Dear Spike, I just wanted to say I think it's sweet and kind of you to be all of our dates to the dance. And to show my appreciation for you, I had made this for you for just the occasion. See you at the dance. Love, Rarity. He noticed a lipstick imprint by the name. Spike smiled before looking at the box and opened it. He pulled out a stylish clean black tuxedo jacket with matching pants, a necktie, and a white dress shirt. Whoa, this'll save me from having to ask my peeps to forward me money to rent one, Spike said as he tried the outfit on. When he finished getting dressed, he looked at himself in the mirror and was greatly impressed with his look. Oh, yeah, looking good, man, he snickered while doing a double finger point to his reflection. I can't wait to see how the girls look for the dance either. I'm gonna probably get such an erection from just looking at them. He blushed like a pervert. He changed out of his tux and back into his regular clothes. Better finish the rest of my report so I can print it and give to Principal Celestia. He went to his laptop to finish his report. A few days later, and it was nighttime at the school, Spike, who had finished getting dressed into his tux, put some gel in his hair to slick it back and sprayed himself with a bit of cologne. Perfect. All right, Spike, this is it. Time to party hard with the ladies. He snickered before going to his door and peeked out, seeing no one around. Maybe they're already there. I shouldn't keep them waiting. He hurried off. He walked to the gymnasium and saw flashing lights from the windows. This calls for an entrance of epic proportions. He smirked. Inside the gymnasium, lights were shining around along with the disco ball. Various of the girls were having stuff from the concession table, mingling with their friends or dancing. The Rainbooms and Trixie were by the stage watching the girls having a good time. As Sunset spoke up, I don't see Spike anywhere. Yeah, it's not hard to pick him out from everyone here, Rainbow added. You don't think he forgot, do you? Fluttershy asked in worry. Don't be silly, Fluttershy. Pinkie ruffled her hair. Spike wouldn't forget about us. I agree, Spike promised us he'd be here, Rarity added. If he doesn't, he'd only invoke the wrath of every girl here, Trixie put in. And that's what I'd be worried about for him. Twilight finished. Suddenly they heard the gymnasium doors burst open.
As we walk through the corridor of creation, we see lands divide. Nation against nation, like comets they collide. And we pray for the unseen to be seen by the eyes of man. When heaven and earth are hand in hand. Thy will be done!
Everyone looked and saw Spike standing in the doorframe smirking. Let's get this party started, girls, he announced, seeing their lone male classmate. Every girls cheered in excitement. Spike walked in as the girls gathered around him and greeted him with compliments on his tux. Thanks, girls. You all look lovely this evening yourselves, he said, before spotting his main girlfriends up ahead. He walked away from the crowd and over to them. Hi, girls. Good to see you tonight. Great to see you too, Spike, Applejack greeted him. You sure look dashing tonight, Twilight admitted. Thanks, Twee, and thank you for making this for me, Rarity. My pleasure, darling, Rarity answered. Pinkie hugged him. Oh, you smell good, Spike. That's my cologne, he answered. only for Pinky to whisper into his ear seductively, "I'm not talking about the cologne." Spike blushed but didn't want every girl to start getting suspicious and fight over him, so he got her to stop hugging him and spoke. "Come on, everyone, let's dance," he announced, and they all cheered and joined Spike on the dance floor.
Ariel, listen to me. The human world, it's a mess. Life under the sea is better than anything they got up there. The seaweed is always greener in somebody else.
Right from left, Spike was dancing with girl after girl through various dance mixes courtesy of vinyl.
Just look at the world around you. Right here on
He danced with each of the rain booms, followed by Trixie, Adagio, Sonata, Aria, Octavia, Flitter, Cloud Chase, Elira, Bonbon, Derpy, and so on. Spike even led all the girls in a conga line.
Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Up on the shore, they work all day. Out in the sun, they slave away. While we devoting full time to floating under the sea.
After plenty of dancing, Spike was sitting at a table having a cup of punch. "Woo, all this fun is really wearing me down," he said before taking a sip of his drink. "You're not tired yet, are you, Spike?" Pinky asked, as she and the rest of her friends came over. "Not yet, just needed a break," he answered. "Good, because the night is still young," Rainbow said. "And we have so much more fun we want to have with you," Rarity put in. "Don't worry, girls, I'm not gonna get tired that easily." "Well, come on, the next song is about to start," Pinky said, as he picked him up to join them on the dance floor. The song started playing and Spike was feeling very moved by it, as were the girls. Spike was dancing with each of the girls. He made sure to give each girl enough time before switching to another, although Sonata didn't want to give him up, and Aria was looking ready to strangle her to get her turn with Spike. Luckily, Spike got free from Sonata and danced with Aria before she could try that. While watching the students were the principal Celestia and Luna, who saw Spike was doing whatever he could to manage between all of his dates. Celestia smiled and spoke to her sister. "He truly is a responsible young man, that he is. Did he send you his report yet?" Luna inquired. "I just got it today." "Good. We'll have something to read tonight." As the song continued playing, Spike was suddenly getting his picture taken with every girl, who surprised him by each giving him a peck on the cheek. Spike smiled from the girls' acts of love and thought to himself, "This is the best night ever." Later on after the dance, everyone had cleared out and went back to the dorms, except for Spike, the Rainbooms, and Trixie. They instead went over to the bleachers by the school's track and field area. They sat down while looking up at the night sky, seeing the stars and moon were out. "Nice night, Hut," Spike asked. "It's beautiful," Fluttershy answered. "Sure as shooting," Applejack agreed. "I sure wish it could last forever," Rarity said, as she scooted closer to Spike. "Me too," Pinky agreed, as she also scooted closer to Spike. Only 1 week left until the end of the semester, Twilight reminded them. Yes, and before that we have our finals, Trixie added. We can handle it, Rainbow said confidently. For your sake you better, Rarity remarked. What does that mean? Rainbow asked suspiciously, as the girls and Spike chuckled. So any plans for this summer? Spike asked. We do what we please, Spike, Final answered. Yeah, well, except for Twilight, she likes to make plans ahead of time. Rainbow added. Better to be prepared, Twilight replied. Well, whatever plans you all have, I'm glad I won't be spending summer vacation alone. Spike said. There's still a lot I want to do with you girls. He secretly eyed Rarity, Twilight, Trixie and Vinyl, knowing he had yet to bed those girls yet. And some a lot more with you, he thought to himself. Suddenly Spike found himself getting group hugged by the 9 girls. He smiled at their affections and wrapped his arms around Rarity and Pinky, who were still by his sides. A week later, after the students' finals, the entire student body was gathered in the gymnasium and seated in the bleachers. The faculty were on a stage along with Celestia and Luna in the center. While Spike was off to the side, Celestia spoke into the mic, grabbing everyone's attention. Another year has come and gone, and as always I am proud to call each one of you a student of Canterlot Academy. The girls applauded in gratitude, and I have to say this has probably been our best year yet. All thanks to our little experiment. She motioned Spike to come over, and he stood between the 2 sisters. Luna spoke into the mic. We've watched closely on how our male student Spike interacted with you as you have with him. The faculty stated there's been no disciplinary problems or issues regarding any behavior in class. She motioned to such faculty as Cherylee, Coach Spitfire, Sapphire Shores, etc. Celestia held up Spike's printed-up report and continued. After we've all gone over Spike's report on his experiences and thoughts on our school, we've all come to a final conclusion about the academy. All the girls looked on eagerly awaiting to what their answer was. We've decided that Canterlot Academy has passed the co-ed experiment. The girls, upon hearing the answer, burst out of their seats applauding and cheering with joy. Spike stood there looking surprised. As tears of joy filled up his eyes, he quickly wiped them away before anyone noticed. Celestia looked at Spike and shook his hand. Congratulations, Spike. Looks like you'll be a permanent student here at the school. Thank you, Principal Celestia, and Vice Principal Luna. If this test didn't work, I wouldn't have wanted to dream about having to leave the school and go overseas with my parents. I love this city and I love this school. Luna smiled. We're pleased to hear that, although now that we'll be making the school co-ed, we're afraid you'll have to move out so you can move into the boys' dormitory we intend on having be built over summer break. Spike looked disappointed and asked, Do I have to? Celestia nodded. I'm afraid so, unless you want every male student coming to register for next semester hate your guts. Spike, realizing that would be a problem, replied, Good point, but you'll be sure to let me know when the boys' dormitory is complete so I can move into it. We will, Celestia promised. Thank you both. And now I think it's time you said a few things. Spike looked up at all the girls who were focused on him. Gathering the courage, he spoke. Hi. First off, I want to thank Principal Celestia and Vice Principal Luna for making the final answer that we were all hoping for, and also a big thanks to each and every one of you for making my stay here at Canterlot Academy a wonderful one. And I'm sure you'll all be glad to have more guys running around the school. But just remember, girls, I was the guy who started it all here. The girls applauded and whistled. Spike smiled and thought to himself, I am here to stay. After the ceremony, Spike and all the girls were at the dormitory partying like crazy for not only the end of the year, but for Spike being allowed to continue to learn at Canterlot Academy, as well as the school becoming co-ed. Spike was sitting down in the center as all the girls gathered around prepared to take a group photo to commemorate this special occasion. Photo set the timer and ran to join the others. She made it in time and the picture was taken. That night Spike was in his room talking on his phone. Yes, Mom, it's true. I passed the test and I can remain here as a student. I know I'm excited too, especially now that it's becoming co-ed. I'll finally have some guys to pal around with. All right, Mom, I'll talk to you and Dad tomorrow. I love you both. Good night. He hung up. He smiled as he looked at a picture on his desk of him, the Rainbooms and Trixie. Well, school may be done for now, but summer has just begun, and I plan to make the most of it with you girls. He kissed the picture before putting it back on his desk and retired to his bed.
実は君のもとへと見てく抱きしめて愛しき君